constantly, daily, by the mountains, by the rocks that surrounding us, and by the Dolomites who gave the born to La Sportiva in the 90s.